Okay, so welcome everybody to our Explorer Academy Rio Rancho monthly board meeting, and we're going to do a quick roll call, and I'll since we have people in virtual as well, I'll go through and we'll just wait for a response. We'll start with Kathy Garden,
Kathy Garden, board member here.
Michael Masajewski, board president here.
Chris Kinworthy, Vice Chair, President.
Skip Mackey, Secretary.
Gloria Rich, board member.
And also in attendance, we have Karen Warner, our liaison, and Jackie Bogue, our head administrator.
Oh, my hand. I was just thinking my hands.
And oops, we lost.
Oh,
Feet.
gorgeous.
So,
Oh, don't,
Cable.
it isn't, we didn't lose feed. We
Oh.
lost that.
Well, there you go, that's what it's on.
So, but people online can still see us. So. Okay,
Okay.
we're back.
So sorry about that. We're having a little technical difficulties tonight, but and also we have Amber and Shawnee,
Shauna, I think.
in waiting for their reports. So thank you very much. There's no public comment. Nobody lost feed.
Okay, so Kathy, you can still see us, correct?
Yeah.
I can see you, yes.
Okay,
So
so
even though that doesn't show and you can't really see the screen, we're still online.
okay.
We'll look at your monitor.
Yeah. Sorry.
So has everybody had a chance to review the agenda? And do we have a motion to approve?
There was one thing I didn't know how many I had highlighted on the agenda, sorry. I'm doing the silly mistake. Agenda for tonight.
Was there a motion?
No.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And the minutes from last month's meeting on September 24th. Has everybody had a chance to review?
Mhm.
The only
Yes.
thing on there was I highlighted that I didn't remember the 600 number that Josh wrote the budget for. I didn't capture that. I could just put approximately 600 if you want, but
Was what I believe it was.
maybe Amber knows, I could ask her, but that's the only potential correction that I didn't capture it. And so maybe is it okay to change it to approximately 600?
Yes.
Because I just wanted it noted. So
Uh,
maybe the approval would be with that change.
So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting with the adjustment of changing it to approximately 600 students.
I'll second that.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll move right into our finance report. If we get Amber voted.
I'm gonna go, hopefully the screen stays on, so I'm gonna turn off the light.
Wonder if anything's, you guys know we had a big power outage. I could check this out. Because somebody
Today?
had, no, a few days ago, they hit the power line behind us for not doing that cable.
So when I was coming up, I saw that it looked like the taco was out.
Hi, Amber.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can, but you're gonna have to talk loudly because we weren't able to get it on the speaker, just on our computer, so.
Okay, I'll do my best. Do you
That's
want, I don't know, do you want me to share my screen or no, since you can't see it?
Yeah, we have the screen up now. I'll
Oh.
let you know if it fails, but yeah, if you could share your screen, that'd be great.
Okay. Okay, so here we go. The first report is your revenue report. It's as of September 30th, 2025. First column is the description of each fund. Then we have your budget and what we've actually received as of September 30th, and then your available column of what we're expected to receive by June 30th. Hopefully by next month, we will start seeing the SB9 coming in. So you won't see that right now. everything else looks good. RFRs are coming in timely and quickly, so no issues there. Next, we'll go into your expenditure report. Again, description of each line item, what we have budgeted in each line item, what we've actually spent as of September 30th, and then what's encumbered to be spent by June 30th. And then you're available. All the bars that were approved last month are in, so it should look a lot better and not too many negative line items. I'll scroll through this. Let me know. Sorry?
No, I'm just trying to find the display settings to see if it's my resolution that's making it a little blurry, but no, you're good. We're following along.
Okay. So I'll just scroll through. Let me know if you have any questions on a specific line item. We did meet last Friday with the finance. Jackie did mention it was 474 for the 40th day. So there'll be about a $2,740,000 cut into your operational. Overall, you should be good at the year end. Just be really tight spending from now on, which I think was already happening. Oops. All funds look good.
I don't see where it is. Hold on.
Yeah, right. So,
It's right after.
And the only funds not really being spent as so far is the kitchen grant, but you have a few years for that. And then the SB9, which of course is because we haven't started receiving those funds.
On that note, I did receive a message today from the girl at the county. She said, ask me for the ACH information, which I sent on September 29th or 30th. So I resent it to her, so we should be good to go. So she must be preparing to send something out. She had said the first one should come around November 15th.
Perfect. I'll look out for that. And I'll let you know if anything changed, but so far I'm not aware of any of the bank information changing now that they switched over.
Yeah, I just wondered if that's why she asked me at first, if the bank account or routing number changed, but I think it's just she missed the thing I sent before. So I think we're good.
Okay.
But yeah, if you find out that there's anything changed in terms of the account number or routing number, I would be surprised, but let me know because then she won't have the right information.
Of course.
Because I just made a deposit.
Okay, Jackie said it's the same. She just made a deposit, so.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Go. Sorry, were you going to say something?
No, so none of the board members were present for the meeting on Friday. I did want to make them aware of the note you made that showed we potentially started in a deficit. Because that was not what we were under the impression of in June of 25.
Right.
I'm still waiting for confirmation, and I know we won't know that just yet, but that was correct. That was a bit alarming. And I have not received anything back yet from that information.
Right, yeah, so I just completed the first quarter cash report. It's it should be on the website now. With doing that, it looked like your operational ended with negative 150,000. So I just mentioned that last week because I didn't know if the school was aware, because there is, I think, 150,000 in your budget for carryover.
does that have anything to do with the previous year where we took from
I don't know.
that first, because we had charges hit in the fiscal, but they should have been accounted for in the previous fiscal.
It's not letting me change the display. All right.
Did you catch that, Amber?
I did, but I'm not too sure on that. I don't know.
Because that was about the amount, wasn't it?
Yes, I mean, yeah, when we had, but that should have been on the finding, the previous year's finding, and that's why we did get that dean.
So this isn't the only school that Axiom has reported a positive closing balance to the board in May or June, and then turns up to be from the audit a negative ending balance for the school year. So I'm not sure what the reason is. We're all trying to get answers from
I'm not getting anything.
Axiom, but
I did send an email. I CC'd you guys on it.
Yeah.
See, and I have not received anything. I didn't put Katie Rarick on it. That might be the next step. Or initiating a different letter, but it is just concerning because I was under the impression we ended, I know we did,
we were told, yes.
yeah, we had a positive ending. We're nothing in, huge surplus, but nothing
Yeah.
outstanding negative.
But now you're talking, I don't remember what it was, but let's say 100,000 positive, now it's 170 negative. That's a difference of $250,000. Like,
Yeah,
it's even more for another school that I,
well, and the actual bank account though was not overdrawn.
no, but
And
No, because no. I don't know. Yeah,
Recording's messed up someplace.
something is. I
and
just
will we
don't know.
get dinged on that?
Yes, yes, you will.
well, yeah,
I know, but that's 2 years in a row.
well, we switched accounting companies. It's the
And
corrective action for that,
yeah,
but
you may have to, it is likely that if there's a repeat finding, we will be listed on a PEC agenda to come and explain, and we just have to explain. And we can show documentation that we were advised of I went and pulled it. If I didn't do it for this school, I did it for another school, like what would, the presentation made in May or June is evidence that we had no clue. And we were ill-advised. But to Amber's point, I don't know why, they're reporting that, but I don't know why it is such a big fluctuation. Amber, do you know, like, why is,
You
By that-
just showed we started in the deficit.
Right,
So
I
our
don't
books
really see
change.
too much. We'll have to wait till like the draft financials come out to really
Okay.
know if that's the actual number, if there's an adjustment that was made.
Do we have a big?
I just
No,
don't know that.
and there's no way that I guess, right, I'm thinking like my own personal self. If I go and I pull my June statement for my bank at Bank of America, on June 30th, I know what my account had. On July 1st, I know what my account had. That doesn't matter.
No,
it's not just your bank account.
Oh,
yeah,
It's,
because you have summer payrolls that don't get paid out by June, and all
And
the
that's-
benefits and liabilities.
that's where it feels
They're
like
in
it's got to be
July.
something related to that, that we,
if you guys remember, I want to, and I don't want to take up Amber's time, but I was under the impression, and I thought, and I can go back and look from our previous June board meeting, that when he presented the agenda, it showed the double payment of payroll, but he was just going to then issue it in July.
well, that's.
But it didn't
that's
come
what I'm-
out of July, it didn't come out of fiscal 25, 26. It was still fiscal 24, 25.
Well, that's what I'm wondering is, did it get on the books after this transfer over to Amber's company? Did it end up on the books for this year versus last? But
if it did,
the
we
way
wouldn't have,
Josh entered in his system, it showed for last year's. I don't know how that transition works or where,
It should
Yeah, but-
report for last year. It just won't come out of your bank until July,
That's what I was.
but it'll be in FY 25's, the books and all that. It's just we don't pay it until the July dates that it should
so
be
what
on.
was paid in July doesn't influence this, the auditors are just looking at close of books at the end of the 25 school year?
No, the
Yeah.
July ones they're reflected in the financials.
Right, but the bank account payment isn't part of it.
Right, no.
Yeah.
Actual cash.
So I'm just trying to show the difference.
yeah, I'm just,
The accrual versus cash.
Yeah. did it get entered? Correct. I guess it would have had to because it showed up on previous audit. Right. So,
I don't know. I was just frustrated when she told me that.
yeah,
So I guess we have to wait till you have more information, but am I correct that this came to light through the audit process? Or did this come from the Behill Group?
I just had finished the cash report and was meeting with Jackie and just wanted to let her know that I didn't know if she was aware that they ended negative in operational. It's only in the operational fund, that's what I should say. Not all your funds. So some other funds have balances, but operational was negative. And I just based it, I start those balances based off last year's fourth quarter report
So
When do you
until the audit.
want to give them to respond by and then escalate to Katie?
she already did escalate to Kim.
No, I haven't,
Oh, I thought you did.
no, it's just
So
been
do you
Josh.
Want me to
Sure.
reach out and forward that
Sure.
over to Katie?
Sure.
I think you should probably, since you're gonna be taking an action as a board, I presume.
Yes.
And we have possible action here. I think you probably should have a vote to send a letter to Axiom asking for explanation and for support on this issue.
I'll make a motion to send an email letter to Axiom to explain the deficit from our start of the year. 25-26.
second,
All in favor?
Kathy, yep, she's raised her hand. Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right, so moving on, Amber. We got a little sidetracked, but
Sorry about that, but the board was not aware because what we were told was a positive. So thank you for that time.
Of course, and I can share the cash report too, if, just so you guys
Please do.
see. But yeah, if you wanna, these are your POs. Not too many have been open since the last meeting, so everything you've seen. I believe Ali Pop will be decreasing due to the membership. Just, we haven't heard anything on that yet. Then next will be your bank register. So this is all the activity for the month of September. Nothing out of normal. Just let me know if you have any questions on any specific line items.
Trafera Holdings LLC.
Sorry?
Trafera.
Trafera Holdings, it's 30061 on the bank account register.
She wants to know, he wants to know what Trafera Holdings is, yeah.
So they only have a PO for $1,600, but there's an $8,900 charge. So I was just curious if we know
85,
95,
85, 95.
85, 95.
Yeah, let me check what that one was. So that's for the Google Chrome license for 300. And then the other PO is for cameras.
So, yeah, so it's not a regular payment.
Is it Halo's new? I wonder.
The 8,000 is for Google licenses.
Did it need a PO with it or no?
Yeah, but once you pay it, the PO's closed, so you won't see it on that
Oh,
open PO report.
Got it.
That report is only what's still open and to be
Gotcha.
paid out.
Got it. Got it.
So again, deposits were higher. You'll see this for a few more months until the 40th day adjustment is made, and then you'll start to see your SEG go down. But overall, you have still pretty good bank account, 736,000 after outstanding checks. Any questions on the financial reports before I just show you the cash report?
Do you have questions?
Axiom's still on contract
For the audit, yeah.
For the audit, okay.
Okay, so no other questions?
Oops.
And for the cash report, we are having a little bit of trouble with the screen. It's a little fuzzy, so you may want to send that to, I'm sure Jackie has it probably, but send it to
It should
At
be on
least
the website as
on
well.
the website too.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we have to post these now.
On the website for,
Explore Academy. It's,
on our school's website?
yes, it is now.
Oh, so someone else added it. Okay. Um,
I know it's
Cool.
gonna be small because it's a lot of,
and even if it wasn't small, we can't really read it.
okay.
She
Um,
shows what
Amber,
everything-
because, but if you kind of give us an overview of what's there, then they can dig into it a little bit more from the website and draft their letter to Axiom.
Yeah, so this just basically shows all your cash, and it's for the first quarter, so as of September 30th. Line 1, until we get the audit, it's based off last year's fourth quarter, so that's where I got those numbers, letting her know that it was negative 157,000. Then it shows you all the revenue received and expenditures paid out, and then your ending cash balance in each fund. So operational was negative, the food service, one of the food services was negative, and then the other one had a positive balance of almost 30,000. Then of course your RFR funds, those should always be negative. You can't have positive cash and those funds. And that's pretty much it. You don't have too many different funds. But I just wanted to bring that to her attention because I didn't know if she was aware that it's ended negative, because I had also thought it was a positive ending.
Could it, is it something as simple as like a bar could have not gotten entered correctly or?
No,
like
that's
that?
just, and it could be from the previous year, that you were negative and it just wasn't fixed with the last fiscal year. But no, it can't be fixed with the bar. It's just me showing you spent more expenditures than the revenue.
Yeah, no, I guess I meant if a bar had not gotten entered, because I
Oh.
haven't gone back through to. I was gonna go
No.
back through and see if there was a bar that was for about that much or something where some stuff got moved.
No, this wouldn't have to do with a bar being missed.
Okay,
Except that if there were things in operational that could have been paid for one of the positive funded accounts.
Right. So there could be
It-
maybe an adjustment coming with the audit that might move it to one of the funds that had available.
Because overall, there isn't a negative, correct? Like if we
Mm.
took all the funds
No, overall it was negative
by,
269,000.
oh,
Jesus.
But again,
so that,
your federal funds and other RFR funds always end negative.
I don't understand that, but okay.
You have to spend the
Cool.
money and then they give it to you.
Oh, you're still
after.
waiting on reimbursements for some then?
Yeah, because this was as June 30th. You can't project.
Yeah,
what
I
you're
know
getting.
how promptly they pay your reimbursements. I got you. But if we took what was due to be reimbursed, are we then in a positive, like, in other words, what I'm trying to get at is if things in operational is there room to pay operational in some of those other accounts?
Not enough, no.
No, okay.
The only other thing I can think of is bond covenants, but I don't know if that's operational still, isn't it?
I don't know. How does the bond covenant fit in all this? And do we have bond covenant funds? And did we meet a bond covenant?
I didn't think we were going to need it.
Yeah.
I thought that we were not, but if I recall, that didn't affect the bottom line operation,
yeah, I thought it was.
right?
Well, unless you're using some of it for operation.
Not. It was just going to be that the investor would then just be communicated that we dipped below the bond covenant.
So where does bond covenant fit in all this, Amber?
I don't really know what they are, but mostly you have to meet days cash on hand and, but I don't think these financials should reflect that. Cause you just, right, signed in September or October?
No,
No.
we had our,
Or this-
our former, lease, I guess, right? We had to have a bond covenant met as part of that negotiation from the previous loan that we were in 2022 to just a couple of weeks ago. We always had to have a bond threshold met
For the lease.
with a lease. We knew we were gonna dip below that minimum threshold, but we were under the impression that that did not impact operational dollars because again, it was just like a holding. But we would have ended on a positive note per what we were told in June.
So we need-
I'm not too familiar with that, so I'm not
Okay,
too sure.
okay. I have no other question.
Okay,
And then I didn't
I'm
have
gonna
any
go-
bars tonight either.
so. Our chair stepped out for a moment, so our vice chair is gonna have to take over for the vote on this.
Okay,
Your eyes,
back to the agenda.
eyes, lights coming on.
Okay. All right, so we'll need a motion to approve the financial reports.
I moved it to our financial reports.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. I noted that Mike stepped out.
I got it.
Okay. Amber, anything else?
No, nothing on my end.
Okay, you're welcome to hang out. I think we're gonna move you back into the audience. Appreciate your time and thank you for all the help with this.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is item 6, administration's computer rules. And it's just a record,
Mike's back.
it's back.
Change role to attendee. There we go. I think. So Jackie. Oh, do you want me to fill this up? I don't have to read it anyway.
Your best order.
I wonder if we should try.
You want me to try
No,
mine?
then the
I just
public
need my
won't see
phone.
it. Hold on, let me
Okay.
see if I can do it. Hold on.
Just need to go grab my adapter, but I can if you want, see if it changes anything.
But then the people on the meeting,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so you can start talking and I'll get it up as soon as possible.
Okay, guys, so what I did is I made a quick doc just to go over my goals for the year, just so it's a little bit more documented, especially I know we need to talk about head admin, all the fun stuff. So for this year, also just part of the requirement of the school is that we will be doing a 90-day plan. So I kind of wanted to make sure that some of the work was tied together so that we're not doing multiple pieces of work across the board. Working on a 12-year data growth from last year's end of year data to this year's end of year data. We should be getting our information from the state. It is embargoed, I believe, until the 12th of November, but we should be then getting our results back from NAMASA, so we can look at to see how we did there. I unfortunately cannot share with you guys yet. So hopefully by the next time we meet, we'll have some update. So that is the goal of the school for academic. Working on our first 90-day plan submission this school year. We'll follow our data collection and analysis to find areas for intervention and strategies to improve for each grade level. We did see, I mean, we're still seeing that dip in math, of course, as many areas of the school and the nation are. We are continuing to see slow growth in reading, but we will continue to work on both. Quarterly goals. So how I broke it down is there's going to be 3 different ones. We have a staff goal, we're going to have a facilities goal, and we're going to have a campus goal. Those are my 3 really big scopes of work right now. So the staff goal of course, is going to be working on that data to increase towards our overall cohort growth over the previous year. So we are actually starting to implement a small tutoring program. If you guys recall, we did that the reading program last summer. And if teachers taught it, they have the opportunity to tutor for pay, and the state's paying them. We only have 3 staff members and only serving 12 students. So it still is a very small population, but again, any support is great. And this is done through Red Thread, which is their program. They are offering training, they're offering the materials. And then Jenna, my elementary learning coach, is also providing intervention to small groups K-5 across the board. So those are some of the targeted interventions we're looking on. Continue with data implementation, pulling intervention students, reviewing flavor and core assessments, really tightening those up. And then working with the ALIOP team to support adjustments and or needs to accommodate to the curriculum. So that's going to be more of our academic based stuff that we're looking at. And I'll be updating it every quarter just to have that documentation. And then of course, data when we have more progress to show. Facilities improvement. So that's my next big scope of work. And obviously just the meetings in general, we've already had multiple. And if in November, well, I don't know, if anytime you guys want to possibly go take a walk, just let me know and we can figure it out. We have just one set of keys right now. But closing on property did complete on 10/1. We've done drafts, we've had contractor meeting. I have met with Shauna twice now from Blackbird to review the needs of the school and just to continue working on getting all things done. We are still waiting on the final budget from McRitch and just a few other parties just to make sure we're good to go, but I'm sure I'm not going to talk because I know Shauna's going to probably talk a little bit more on that. And then the other one that I did add in is my campus goal is to end the year with a positive reserve budget because, oh my goodness, I feel like this has been an ongoing scope of work for me. So the big one was for me to finalize and know what my budget was for this fiscal year. I felt like I really didn't have a strong understanding of it until last Friday. Still a little kind of questionable. So with new management, we had one meeting to review. I still was waiting to get a clear answer on that. Some areas of concern regarding the ending fund balance, like we shared, working with CLA for the exit audit, hoping we get a clear picture as to what's going on. And then again, like I said, we finalized at 474. Will we need to make any budgetary cuts at this time right now? No, we may have some shifts in staffing, and then I will need to decide, are we going to hire at a full 1.0 or do we want to look at possibly looking at, can I stretch staff a little thinner to meet the need of some of our areas? And that's always a delicate balance, right? Because how much do you put on the system without, jeopardizing the whole? So those are just the 3 big things that I'm spending a lot of my attention on. And we'll continue to work on so that we are having a sound year 3, really preparing for this expansion for year 4. And then I didn't put it in here, but with the facilities, staffing will be right around the corner. As we prepare, I am going to start meeting with a handful of people to start having conversations about what I need to staff for. What does it look like in regards to a counselor for that 612 range, dean or assistant principal for that 612 range, continuing to work with the ALIOP team so that we're looking at the transcripts and credits and all the fun stuff as that is going to be a bless you scope of work for myself and my team. So those are going to be also big steps. And I can't believe it's November in like 6 days. So I feel like it's going to be a very busy November to March on top of doing school stuff. So, yeah. Those are my goals, just so you guys know what I'm really dedicating time to on top of other principal duties.
Thank you very much. So, moving on to, the report from Karen.
Yes, I don't have much to share other than, I forgot to include the Alliop report for this month, so I'll send it out to you all. But what I did want to report is that you know that every year the CSD provides an annual report. The preliminary annual reports have been provided now 3 times, but I'm happy to report that last Friday they presented it to the PEC with the change on the CPO. We had a ding, if you will, on staffing for fiscal management because they claimed that our CPO was not valid. I sent them the evidence as to why it is valid, and they did change it. So you have a very impressive, I'm not going to show it there, but fully green or meet standard, except for we had one does not meet for audit findings and a working to meet due to audit findings. So otherwise, a pretty clean report, and I'm really happy that I didn't hear back from them. I sent it all in and didn't hear back. And then when I saw that they approved it on Friday, I panicked and went and watched the YouTube video of the PEC meeting and saw that it had changed. So,
Oh, she must have put you on it, because she said it was approved on Thursday.
oh, I didn't get it.
Oh,
So anyway, but I'm happy to see that it's changed and I guess basically blessed by the PEC, although they don't really approve them, they just accept them from the CSD. And then the final report won't come out until this embargoed data is available, and then we'll have a final report because the missing pieces are the academics.
Okay.
But in looking at the previewed data, it's looking good.
And just to, as a reminder, in addition on the last part of the agenda is references, reminders for training, etc.
Thank you for that. Yes. I haven't checked on your training lately, but I'll start nagging again soon. Oh,
they didn't show up on the quarterly thing because I think I finished on September 1st.
so Gloria gets the first gold star.
Please make sure it's on there.
So, now, moving on to our governing council business as far as Shawna with our update for the facilities.
Hi, Shauna. There she is.
Can you guys hear and see me okay?
We can. Thank you.
Okay,
Nice
all
to meet
right.
you.
Nice to meet you. Hi, Amber, if you're still listening. It was good to see her face. So I'll go ahead and start with introductions, and then I can share my screen and just pull up a short agenda summary of where we are with the project.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So my name is Shauna Ballet, owner founder of Blackbird Management. So we specialize in project management and owners representation for planning, design, and construction projects. We also do a lot of tribal work, environmental studies, and site evaluations. So they brought me on board to assist with the oversight and coordination between architect and McRick, the contractor, which I'm sure you know because you guys probably voted on it. So let me share my screen and talk a little bit. There are probably some questions that I might not be able to answer for you today because I've only been brought on board for about 2 weeks. So kind of research and discovery and kind of doing impromptu visits to the contractor's office to get in front of him to find out where he is with everything. So give me 1 second to share my screen. Let's see.
I'm gonna caution you, Amber, that or excuse me, Shauna, that our screen is a little blurry, so the more you may have to explain a little bit. We're having trouble zoom in, and we're having a little trouble with our technology. That's pretty good.
Is that okay?
Yep.
All right. Okay. So the architect engineer contract was signed on October 1st of 2025. The construction project start date right now is tentatively scheduled for November 1st. This is what Mick indicated to me in my impromptu discussion with him the other day, but I'm trying to get a demolition pre-con meeting scheduled with him for October 28th so we can line up the whole schedule. I do not have a full project schedule from him yet. So anticipated completion, I did see in Mullenheller's contract that one of the buildings was scheduled for completion in September, which I think is beyond the date of what everybody's anticipating. So these are some logistics that we need to work out especially next week when we have our first meeting in person with both team members to work out and kind of hone in on the real schedule for the renovations of the major renovations of 6085 and 7000 and the minor renovations of 6090. Currently, right now, we're in the design development phase. So they did turn in the schematic designs right after the contract was signed. I don't know if you guys have seen them yet. I'm happy to pull them up if you need to see any of the drawings. They are scheduled for the design development drawings submittals this Friday, and Doug has indicated that they are on schedule. They did turn in the demolition plan set so that they turned that in this past Sunday so that McRick can work on getting his demolition construction permit. As of yesterday, when I spoke with him, he had not received his demolition permit yet. So again, we'll hopefully get a better update next Tuesday, and I'll have more information for everyone during the next meeting. Site mobilization, as I mentioned, is scheduled for site mobilization for demolition is scheduled to start for November 1st. Again, waiting for an updated construction schedule. So really honing in on that construction schedule, I think, is everybody's biggest concern probably. I do want to just cover some budget items. There's, again, I'm not privy to all of, the previous discussions as it relates to contract negotiations. So this is what I pulled together in terms of what I can decipher in terms of funding availability and any concerns. So the construction contract, the amount that was financed based on what Patty Matthews provided to me as part of the bonding was $2.993 million. The obligation to date, I have it highlighted in blue. This amount right here appears to be the amount that's going to be obligated to McRick's contract, but I have not seen I haven't seen his draft or his final contract yet. When I met with McRick yesterday, he indicated that the contract should be wrapped up by his attorney, legal counsel by the end of this week so that it can be signed by both parties. I'm assuming that this is the amount that's going to be obligated for the 6085 Zenith guaranteed maximum price amount, which leaves really no remaining funds for any change orders or any contingency in terms of the way that this was structured. There is a kitchen grant of $404,000 that I believe is to offset some of the costs for this building, specific to the kitchen renovation. I know we've been working with Katrina on Explore staff. She's working on getting some cost estimates for some of the kitchen equipment that's going to be needed. But we'll need to work out with McRick. We'll need to work it out with him on the renovation costs associated with that kitchen separately, and we'll likely need to contract that separately through CES because all that kitchen grant will have to go through the state procurement requirements.
So McRick, I'm sorry, Shauna. So
Yes.
McRick is listed with CES then already for these construction projects?
I'm told he is. I honestly,
Okay.
I have not done a double check to make sure that he is actually on the vendor listing, but I can do that.
I have a question too.
Chris has a question.
I thought the quotes that we saw all included a little bit of a contingency in there within that price. I don't have them up in front of me, but.
Are you
She
talking
hasn't-
about McRick's quotes?
Yeah, I think so. At our last meeting, we were presented some kind of ballpark. I think it was kind of the very first document that we had gotten back from him, and buried somewhere in there was some contingency dollars, I thought. I think it was listed in percent or something, not specific dollars.
It was in the plum.
You might, I'm sorry.
Was it, I don't, I thought it was just a flat number. I don't because I actually asked Patty that question.
Yeah,
Uh,
because we talked about it during the meeting.
yeah.
Because she said, I don't see any money in here, and as I was scrolling down, I said, oh no, I think it's here towards the bottom. So I could try to I have the minutes. I did
September 25th, I think is when I was. It was right
Yeah, so
after,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
oh, no, I'm just trying to search.
I don't think those were linked on the meeting because it was discussed in closed session.
Okay.
But you might have those documents somewhere.
Yeah.
But they weren't on the meeting. Because I think that was a closed session. right?
Okay.
What I have is, the only thing that I have is the exhibit C, which was his quote dated September 7th, that was a part of Mullenheller's contract. So it's the only estimate I have of his. And he has an allowance, $105,000 allowance for LED lighting. He does indicate that he is providing the new fire alarm and some of the rough-in for the special systems and low voltage. It's not clear how much or what kind of assumptions he made, but there are some, what he's referencing is guaranteeing maximum price lump sums for each of the buildings, including the basketball courts and the volleyball courts, minus the performance and payment bond, which I understand the financer was not requiring. He does have specific exclusions in this proposal, which is the kitchen equipment, new roofing, low voltage items, expansion fees for water and sewer, P&M line extension. Those are some of his, yeah, so I don't see anything in here. He said that he recommends that the owner carries a 5% contingency, but I didn't see anything in between his cost estimates and the financing.
And Shauna, just so you know, I checked, McRick is a contractor for construction on CES.
Okay, thank you. So again, the 90 Zenith renovation, again, this was the amount financed. This is the amount that's assumed that's going to be locked into his GMP and his contract. Same thing with 7,000 Zenith. This is the amount that was financed. This is the exact amount that was in his September 4th proposal. So everything appears to be locked into his GMP pricing without contingency. And I know that Jackie and I have had a couple of discussions about kind of low-hanging fruit or priorities as the renovation moves forward. If there's other items that come up, and which I'll actually cover here in a minute. The amount that was financed for the architect that I received from Patty was $399,000. The contract that was obligated to Doug Mullenheller was for $408,000. So there is an $8,900 variance there that will have to come out of other funding that was provided as part of the financing. There is a line item in the budget with the financing for the fencing and the cameras. We have received a preliminary cost estimate for fencing and gates based on some preliminary site reviews with the staff for $109,000 for the fencing and gates. So Jackie and I are talking about options on how to minimize the amount of gates and fencing that will be needed as part of this initial phase. So we'll have, as we make progress and more time goes by, we'll have some additional updates for the for everyone.
Shauna, we
Yes.
should be receiving SB9 funds that are earmarked for fencing and cameras. I don't know if you took that into account in any of this, but there will.
Got it, we did not, yeah.
Yeah, the school got was in the SB9 bond for under Rio Rancho last in November of 23, but this is the first year we can actually collect on it because it goes by the part. Anyway, long story short
Yeah.
is we're going to start getting payments in November and the money was promised, like, you know, when you do the bond elections, we said fencing and security fencing and cameras. So there should be some funds available. I just want the board to know that the funds from SB9 are to be earmarked for those categories. So it may not be such a big deficit as it appears right now.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. No, thank you. And I heard Amber briefly mention SB9, so my ears perked up a little bit. Okay. So current issues, risks, additional cost considerations, offsite improvement design. So Mullenheller's scope excluded specifically any offsite designs. Jackie and I talked about this a couple of times. There is some value in having Mullenheller and the civil engineer spend a little bit more time on the upfront with doing some offsite designs, especially with where the new bus connection is being proposed to tie in from Zenith Court into the property, which will require additional permitting and some requirements that the city will want to see as part of that civil design package. So I'll be writing a scope of work to run by Jackie and Doug for Doug to provide a cost estimate to potentially amend his contract to allow some offsite designs. It might also include possibly reconsidering locating the basketball and the volleyball courts to a different location on the property that might require some more upfront drainage considerations, cut and fill considerations on the property. But it would free up the cutting off the parking lot, if you will, in terms of where it's being proposed right now. So again, we're just in very preliminary discussions about that. So some of this will need to mend as we're making some decisions moving forward. The furniture, fixtures, and equipment, I know Jackie and I talked on our first meeting about this, and FF&E is not part of the financial scope. Jackie, I don't recall what funding source needed to be identified for that, or if we needed to reserve some of this money from the financing to cover some of that.
Well, it's come up on the last couple meetings. I think there's a fingers crossed hope that the CS.
We didn't get it.
We didn't get that.
Huh?
We didn't get it.
That grant did not, we didn't get the grant.
We didn't get it. Okay, so I guess there'll need to be a discussion on what the backup plan was for that money. Cause that's what we were told every time was it's gonna come out of the CSP grant.
Well, I think we had a more detailed conversation about that. last
Yeah,
time.
a
That
little
didn't-
bit,
that
right?
didn't
That we would pull it from,
somewhere.
yeah, basketball courts or parking expansion or something like that, right?
Like something that is secondary that can read a little bit longer.
It'll be 60-90. It has, I mean, I don't see another, I don't know.
So I guess maybe if it's going to come out of the project finance budget, that $370,000 line item that was identified for basketball and volleyball areas might need to be reduced or removed
what
from
we
the
talked
scope.
I think that's
Yeah.
what you said.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was kind of we would defer that until we had some extra dollars in the bank account for future years, right?
Okay. Just to note, just one thing, it's on a recent project, I mean, we had a 4-month lead time to get some of the furniture that we wanted for some of the classrooms. So the sooner that gets identified in terms of the inventory that's needed and ordered, the better, just to make sure it's in on time and installed. Additional low voltage costs. So, we walking around with Joey, I think there's some equipment, IT equipment that can be repurposed to the buildings that's in the 6090 building in terms of like server racks. But getting fiber data drops between the buildings so that there is a solid connection has been discussed. I know initially we've been talking about doing trenching between the buildings to get fiber and an additional conduit identified for tying the fire panels together. The biggest concern is if we don't connect the buildings through a data drop connection, that you'll have to have separate fire panels that are monitored separately. So ideally, we want a data drop so that we can tie everything back to the main panel in the main building.
Shauna, just within the past 24 hours since you and I have spoken, I did speak with the fire chief of Rio Rancho and the marshal, who are all related. They said they would recommend separate panels. Because I asked them, I said, what would be the best? And they said they would honestly recommend separate panels for each location, because each location is separate and not together. Because if I were to pull at 6090 and they showed up at 6085, that delays and also changes Right, right, and so they did recommend their own panel for each building, and then Halo was out. I think you were, I don't know if you were here with Halo, but while they were here, and I think it was intersecting you. They said that there is an option to do on the rooftops instead of doing trenching. I don't know thoughts on that. That's so out of my realm. But they said there is an option to put whatever on top of one roof and the other roof, all three roofs, and you connect. They said it could be more cost effective. I don't know what your knowledge is on it. My knowledge is, like I said, very slim.
With a wired service versus a wireless.
That's wireless, yeah.
Is it, or is it just they're talking about
I'm-
putting like a mast and running
Mm.
literally a
No,
cable?
no, no, it's wireless, but the one thing he did say would be the problem with trenching would be to go from 690 to 7,000 because of that hill. So he said the rooftop things they do. And again, this literally is within the past 10, 12, 18 hours since you and I last spoke.
Can we just have
Okay.
DC fiber come in?
A couple-
place, bring some back on their,
I had no water 2 days ago.
well, might as well have them. Lay some
Yeah, a
fiber
couple
and just feed
comments.
them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. A couple comments. So yeah, to your comment about the fire panels. When I initially spoke with Chris, and I don't know if you remember that I sent him that list of questions.
Yes.
I know like City of Albuquerque and Bernalillo County fire marshals are all somewhat opinionated about the interpretation of codes when it comes to fire panels. So I asked Chris to make sure that the gentleman, his third party designer, because if I understand, we still want to use Halo for designing the fire system, and he's recommending a Potter system, a voice activated Potter system to replace what you have in the building. I recommended to him to make sure that they talk directly to the fire marshal to make sure that if they are going to tie it all back to one panel, that the fire marshal upon inspection is not immediately going to make that an issue, and that that's predetermined. So it sounds like that might be an issue, and Chris and his designer really need to resolve that. The
Okay.
problem with having 3 different panels is sometimes like if alarm goes off in one building, you know, you guys are going to have to be just careful and strategic about your fire dismissal plans to make sure that if one building goes off and if you might not hear it, and the problem is if that fire panel goes off, you may not, 7,000, which is down the hill, is being, do you dismiss them? Is there a fire that's going to impact all 3 buildings in terms of proximity? So it's worth more of a discussion with the fire marshal to make sure that everybody's on the same page as you guys design that system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because he said you didn't have to have it all connected. It's not a requirement.
But
Yeah.
there are advantages
Right,
and
right,
disadvantages to
yep.
both.
Cost.
Yeah.
Cost,
But
you know,
so to
one,
be
but also-
determined. In terms of the fiber,
Trenches.
I still think you're gonna have, Chris, if Chris has a better idea, absolutely, but I still think you're gonna have higher speed connectivities and more redundancy by having a real fiber line, a hard fiber line tied between the buildings. I did get an email from Joey stating that there was a discussion with Chris about running an aerial overhead.
Yes.
Fiber's fiber, it's a hard line, so it's not wireless. So if we're still talking about running fiber between the buildings, you're probably gonna end up installing poles. And because of that grade difference between the 3 properties, my concern is the amount of poles at height that you're gonna have to get that aerial coverage over. Maybe not be a concern, but it may be a cost wash as well. So if you have to add 4 poles to get fiber between the buildings, it may just be more, cost feasible and less of a hindrance to any development and having, that kind of
Having the trench.
eyesore. Yeah.
So I said it as a joke, but I'm actually
It
kind of
is.
serious.
Easy.
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
I don't know who,
Oh,
like, you've got 2 major companies right now that are at no cost running directional boring to bring service in from buildings to buildings and from their points of service. They're running conduit that's this big it may be worth a discussion of if you're gonna come in and wire 3 buildings with high speed. And that contract may end up being cheaper for us in the long run, either Easy or Xfinity. They have to directional bore anyway, and the size of conduit they're putting in could easily have multiple cables pulled through it. It may be worth a discussion. It's
Yes,
on
sir.
it's on our property, we own it.
Yeah,
Uh,
And better than the poles with the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna have issues. with
so I
weather and
just,
stuff
you
like
know,
that.
Yeah,
it may
no.
be worth a
put it on
discussion
the radar,
to
yeah,
see, because we may even save money on the internet side of things. I don't know.
Okay.
But
yeah, we can reach out.
No,
to-
great point. Great point. There are, I know that the state has a 50% match right now for fiber connectivity. You're right, there is a lot of grant funding. I'll put down here too, I just want to mention this. We did discuss the E-rate funding availability as well. So you guys will get it, we were calculating the numbers. You guys are going to get, with your next 5-year funding cycle, you're going to get $99,000 based on your enrollment rates for your E-rate category 2 funding. So I was talking to a vendor yesterday. I think that we could actually write a scope of work. We need your E-rate consultant on board to make sure that they agree with this. We could potentially write a scope of work to do what's called a category 1 data connect scope that will cover the cost, at least 50% of the cost for connecting the buildings and covering the trenching and the conduit. And even pulling the fiber between the building. So there's the good point about using category 1 funds is it doesn't demolish your category 2 funds. And there's no funding ceiling. So if a project's 150,000, you still have to pay your 50% cost share, but there's no ceiling. So that's another option too to consider.
And Chris, you're talking about the city is doing something right now? Or
no, I mean, every neighborhood's torn up, and they, in fact, that's
It's water and power because of it.
it's so once, I mean, yeah, they're bringing fiber to every single business and residential home in Rio Rancho.
so
then-
so it
and then
wouldn't
bring it-
require grant monies, where potentially you're saying that the city
yeah.
would be providing.
It's not the city, it's so Easy Fiber is,
Xfinity and whatnot, they're making that investment in this.
yeah.
city.
see.
So they're bringing them out to the curb, and then when you sign up,
that you just
like,
bring it in.
they
They do the
directional
connection.
bore up to your
Yeah.
point of, up to the house or to your business, and they pull conduit.
And is that who we would have our
Yes.
business with anyway? Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, is maybe if
That
we
would
get
be
a
a good
quote
Joey
from Easy
question.
and Xfinity.
You only have 2 options.
Right.
Your ranch.
Yeah.
Joey just.
Cause I mean, I have a gig up and a gig down at home, I know that's nowhere near what we would need, but. It's
Oh, I don't know.
fiber right up to literally to the box now.
Mhm. They're why I looked up the.
So then eliminating some of these costs. Sean, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Joey would definitely have some input in terms of, because I think you guys use UPN for your gigabyte data services right now, which is offset by E-rate. So I don't know if it would be worth it researching, but I don't know if 2 additional fiber connects directly to the buildings, would be covered under that umbrella in terms of like service and costs.
Yeah, sure.
Worth looking
But
into
I
them.
noted it on here, so we can discuss that further.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should get quotes from, just in general.
From Xfinity and
Well, Easy, I think it's Easy for right now. I don't know if Xfinity's already whole in this
This is
stream.
the first that I've seen that was easy.
Easy,
Yeah.
yeah.
so Easy Fiber is gonna be an internet provider, or they're just running the cable?
They're yeah, they're already here.
They're a provider just like Xfinity, Cable One. Okay.
Did you say Easy Fiber?
That's what you said,
Easy, it's the easy.
Yeah,
the letters
Easy.
easy?
Easy, okay. Okay, that makes more sense, thanks.
yeah. And then Xfinity is the other one that has so
Fiber.
Rio Rancho has given both of those companies right of way access to
Yep.
pole
Yeah.
and fiber infrastructure in every neighborhood.
But are there certain neighborhoods for each, or
all,
It's up to them.
all of Rancho will be done
With both of them.
Yes, both. There's actually a third that's, I think also has a permit to do it, but
Isn't doing it.
yeah, but they're literally, I mean, they're directional,
All over the
yeah,
place.
they're directional boring.
It's been a mess. Like,
It's probably a mess, but it's a good time to be doing this project then, if that can get done through that.
Well, that's why I was, yeah.
I hear you.
Half the pole, they're pulling conduit that's this big. And running, you know, a couple little teeny tiny fiber lines through them.
to share the lines.
And it's something literally they do in an afternoon without cutting out concrete or asphalt or
Just killing the
anything.
plants. But yeah.
But,
Okay,
Cut the.
Cut off Jackie's water, but that's okay.
anyway, sorry.
yeah, no worries, okay. To be researched further.
Yep.
Additional low voltage costs, though, I did notice that it's just the conduit that is in McRick's estimate, so additional wiring, cabling will have to be pulled through both buildings to actually get the data drops live. I understand that Halo is being asked to provide that service, so we do need to get a cost estimate for them, and it needs to be determined how that's going to be paid for. If it needs to come out of this financing budget again, this might be the item that gets, you know, marked off. So we're waiting for Chris to provide some feedback on that. I did ask Chris and Joey to mark up both of the plans, the schematic plans with all of the data drop and low voltage access points that they need to be included in the construction, so that hopefully all of the conduit can get added, even if they pull, you know, even if they pull data wiring for some of the drops later, it'd be nice to get all of the conduit in now. So, you know, so any subsequent services that they want to add to the building, like speakers or clocks or intercom down the road, could be considered. But, you know, I know Jackie and I talked about that, and we thought maybe we could get McRick to do maybe like an alternative A and B pricing plan for best case and worst case, you know, conduit scenarios in terms of what his assumptions were made on his estimate. Upcoming work, again, is just the demolition is the priority, and then I just included a couple of pictures. I'm sure most of you have maybe seen the buildings already. This is the entrance to 7,000. This is the 6085 warehouse, the empty warehouse location. These doors will get replaced. And for additional action items was complete the offsite design scope for Mullenheller to provide a cost estimate for. Design development plans are due on Friday, so we wanted an opportunity to review them before a formal plan review with both the architect and the contractor scheduled for next Tuesday at 9 a.m. at the school. I did request for a demolition pre-con meeting with the contractor for that same morning, so I'm waiting for his confirmation on that. And then we already talked about the low voltage drawings and the fire panel. And I did add on here to research the fiber cost estimates or fiber cost grants.
Thank you so much. I mean, obviously I'm only speaking for myself, but I feel very confident in this project now that we have you overseeing it as well and relaying back, because you know, obviously it's a big item to take on, and you know, I just feel very relieved that we have someone like you handling all of the in-between stuff. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And would you mind sending a copy of your report so I could have it for the meeting materials?
You bet.
Okay, thanks. And I think I've emailed you, so Karen Warner.
Yes,
is-
ma'am. I have
Thank
it.
you, dear. Thank you so much.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. See you next week.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Okay.
Thank you very much.
No, really thorough,
Yeah.
great to work with.
Well, any box items that free up for you,
Yeah, exactly.
or sheet free up for you
Mhm.
is, I think, worth every penny.
Yep, definitely.
Especially right now with this particular fix and things, right?
It's like going down to Nick Rich. I was like, okay.
Yeah, she said they weren't responding to email, so she was heading down to.
Note, casework is not included in our
Okay.
contract.
cabinetry and stuff, so casework.
So there's no casework. Yes.
Yep.
That is not included in any.
Is that supposed to be like FF&E? Essentially.
Don't know. So that I found out too on, we met on Tuesday. And so I do want to make sure like we figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's in his thing too, because she pointed it out, where specific items excluded from the proposal is new roof P&L fees, casework cabinets.
Is that in the report she shared with us just now?
No, it wasn't Mick Rich's contract.
Or that she hasn't seen?
That well from the plum. And so that's possibly another piece that we'll have to look at. So that's why I am already prepared that any work like the basketball courts or any of that type of stuff, and possibly any work on this property might not happen.
Well, we knew that Bethany was good.
I know.
Sticky point.
Yeah.
I mean, you brought that up pretty early on, so.
Okay. Moving on to property tax.
Yeah, so I reached out to Dustin today. He hasn't received anything. His paralegal is gonna shoot over a note to the assessor to ask for an update. Something to keep in mind, the address that was on all of that paperwork and the reason we didn't receive the initial notification was because it's all going to Las Cruces. And then the other, well,
Why?
that's because everything
Foundation.
registered for this school is Las Cruces.
So
So
where? What are you talking about?
the owner of the property is the Las Cruces
Foundation.
so the address is Las Cruces. So everything related to the property tax goes to Las Cruces.
How do we change that?
That's a good question.
The foundation, whatever, however the foundation.
The
But that's what
foundation-
the foundation was done from when we first purchased it. Yeah,
Well, that's really people out, so.
Yeah. So if that relationship is not where they're,
It's not good
Cindy,
totally,
please.
but individually, it's fine. So let me reach out to the.
they could be sitting down there potentially.
I hear you.
They did ask for an extension in the meeting. It wasn't clear to me or Dustin, after we discussed it, whether that was the 60 days or if it was an additional 60 on top of that. So it could be 120, so we can revisit it again. But yeah, his paralegal was reaching out.
Letter C on there, Jackie and I were gonna set up, today we're going to look at our schedules
Okay.
and put something on, because I know that it is crazy.
And I assume that's gonna be more or less directly related to what you presented earlier with the
Yes,
goals,
yeah,
right? So,
yes.
okay, we just need the board to approve what you
Yep.
decide.
And then, upcoming board meeting dates, obviously the next meetings fall on holidays, so.
Well, the 26th is the day before Thanksgiving. I don't mind meeting that day,
Yeah.
but that's also a school's
Okay.
off that week, I think.
we could do virtual if you wanted. It would-
I just wanted to note as I was looking at your calendar that they're falling on those days, and if you want to make a change, we should vote for that.
Yeah.
Where you
Well, I
where you
think
want it.
definitely we need to, change.
It's clearly
I think
Christmas
the
Eve.
Christmas Eve one we have.
Yeah.
And you know, as far as the day before Thanksgiving, I think we need to change that one as well, so.
So I need to shift to a week.
Yeah,
earlier.
I was just gonna say, maybe could we shift them a week?
I can't do a week earlier. I have another board.
Okay.
Later.
Or, so what day are we looking at first?
Well, we were looking at November 19th, but I have a conflict. I could do a different day of the week, but I can't do that day. The next Wednesday would be December 3rd. I could do that one.
Could we do December 3rd and not
Do either of them?
correct?
Right, get rid of one of, eliminate the
Two
26th.
birds, one stone.
Exactly, and do December 3rd.
As long as there's nothing urgent that needs to be decided, in which case we'd have to call a special meeting, but yes.
Want to propose
Yeah.
that in the country, so I won't be.
It would be better to balance. Go to the 10th and balance the two.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Or would it make a difference?
When do you have financials and everything finalized?
Well, so we're gonna, am I being recorded? Yes, we're possibly going to be transitioning away from Axiom, or I'm sorry, from Depot Group within
Our own,
January,
right, that's January,
or
yeah,
January.
so that won't, nothing will change till then.
So I guess I'll probably have one with her in I believe it's the 14th.
Yeah, the 14th. I will be at those going forward. For some reason, it did not.
And I don't see us doing the audit. I believe I saw 19th or 20th as possible dates for the exit audit. So and again, we usually can't share anything.
Yeah, you won't be able to discuss it in the meeting anyway.
So I mean, the 10th is fine.
It's 10th of what?
That's over.
You know, your logic is so spot on.
I don't know, it's just,
Both meetings, right?
yeah, except that it's a long way from here.
It is.
I kind of like, personally like the 3rd better, but I don't care. Just because by the time we get to the 10th, then we're looking at going holiday and there's not a lot going on in December.
No, December's short. There's only 2 weeks.
So I don't, it's up to the board, but I could do either the 3rd or the 10th.
I can do either one.
Okay.
The,
I'll make a motion to eliminate the November 26th meeting and change the December 24th meeting to December 3rd.
I'll second it.
yeah.
Okay,
Good.
Bye.
you
All
want
in
me?
favor?
Aye.
We get in very late that day.
That's okay. We just need a quorum.
Right.
So enjoy the month off.
Yeah.
So I'm going to delete the 26th event.
So that's gonna.
I'm deleting November 26th. You're gonna get a notice, you know why.
Just need 3.
And then November 24th, I'm gonna move to the 3rd. I got that right?
Yep.
December 23rd.
Yes. I don't know what I said, but yes.
Okay. As far as board comments, I just have one. Today I had an interview with Albuquerque Business First. That they're doing a little blurb on our expansion and the acquisition of buildings. So that was today, and so that should be going out probably later this week or next week. And anybody else have any?
I mean, we didn't really touch on a whole lot more during your update, but I know you're juggling a ton and just want to continue to express our appreciation for everything that you're doing. And I feel like the 5 at the bus stop is a much more positive one this year.
37 parents respond to our survey.
I would take that as a positive thing, right? Oftentimes.
Yeah, no news is good
Surveys
news.
and
True,
reviews
true.
are dominated by
True.
the
But
90
encourage them to do it, though.
No, I get it, but
Yeah.
it is usually when folks have.
True, very true. We did have a parent who shared maybe having like a shout out box in our office where parents could drop in like anonymous comments and not always have to wait till a survey comes out.
And it may just be timing too, and you know, in it. I just had a discussion today about the effectiveness of email marketing, and a lot of that just gets glazed over or something, so.
I know.
Yeah. So, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's been busy.
Uh,
September was
Hate to say, but it's not gonna get any easier.
September was rowdy. Yeah.
Alright. Anything else? No? So make a motion to adjourn. There's no public comment, so,
There's no public hearing.
okay,
Motion to
I
adjourn.
make a motion to adjourn.
I was
I'll
gonna
second
skip-
it.
Kathy just seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our next meeting, December 3rd.
Sweet.